What is going on, everybody? It's been a while. Now, I've been doing some work on the Golf right here, and the reason I haven't really uploaded anything is because I haven't had anything interesting to do, really. But now, as winter is approaching and the Golf is on the lift, we do have some stuff, actually. The first thing we're going to go through today is this. A new turbo. Now, oh, I guess I can keep it here. The reason for this is mainly because I want to, but also I want to have a better mid-range. So before we open up, leave a comment down below what you think this turbo is. And we'll get this package opened and we will compare these two, or this one, to my old turbo, and I think we're also going to disassemble the old turbo because I want to see how it looks. The last time we went to tune the Golf and the Evo, I had some smoking issues. It's like smoking a little bit, and I know I removed some of the parts for the crankcase ventilation and stuff, and I'm running that into the intake basically. So I think that could be the reason when I'm on boost, I put all the crankcase ventilation into the intake again, and well, it's basically an oil fog, so it starts smoking. That's what I think at least, but we'll take a look at the old turbo and we'll open the new turbo. So leave a comment down below what turbo you think this is, and we'll get started. Alright, so I put you guys in a little bit of a better position now, so maybe you can see a little bit better. Now, I already kind of cheated a little bit because I already opened the package, and I will show you why in just a second. Obviously, as you can see, it's from Max Speeding Rods, and that is the same brand that I'm using currently. And the turbo I'm using right now is GT 2871 style, I guess you could say, because it's a Max Speeding Rods as well. There we go. So we got all the boring stuff. Got a T25 gasket. We got the V-band and some instructions, as well as stickers, which is nice. And then we got this. This is pretty much like Christmas. Is there anything better than opening up new performance parts for your car? There we go. Very nice. So this is the equivalent of the G25 550 with the T25 flange and V-band outlet. The reason I went for this is because it is basically the same size as the GT 2871. We got the 3-inch inlet, we got the I think it is 2 or 225 outlet, so it fits on perfectly there, as well as we got the T25 flange that I'm also using right now. So it's pretty much as bolt-on as you can get it, with these kind of builds at least. The only thing we'll have to do is change the outlet, because it's 3.5-inch V-band, and I have a 5-bolt pattern. So let's get the old one. There we go. So this is the old turbo with the T25. Maybe I should remove the, I could remove this. All right, so I removed the silicone gasket, or not gasket, the silicone hose. And as you can see, they are pretty close in size. Or maybe not. Okay, I'm lying. The 550 is a little bit larger, but not by much. So the main thing that made me choose this is I want early spool, and I'll probably never go over 500 horsepower. And as you guys may know, the G series is very good on spool and stuff. I chose the G series before the GTX series because they have a little bit better spool, they have the whole geometry that's a lot better and stuff. And also the smallest G series is capable of, well, over 500 horsepower basically, but also has better spool than the GTX series. If you don't go with the GTX 2860 or something like that, 67 or something. But I still want to be able to go over 400, maybe 450, but I want a good spool as well. And that's why I also didn't go with the 660 because it's overkill. I know you get pretty much the same spool, but capable of around 600 horsepower, but I don't want that. So therefore, the smallest G series is the way to go, I think. I got the T25 flange, I got the 3-inch inlet, I got the 225 outlet. What's cool with the G series, you get to choose where you want the cooling ports, up or down. You got the oil inlet, of course, and you also have upside and downside on the coolant flanges on the outside of the turbo. So I can pick and choose wherever it fits the best, which is nice. I don't have the capability of that on the old turbo. Now this, if you guys ever heard about max speeding rods, I got this turbo before they had different ranges of turbos. You got the universal standard, street, race. And this is before they had those categories. So this turbo is over 3 years old. I think almost 4 years old at this point. And it's still holding up pretty well. But as I said, the car started smoking a bit. I don't even know if it's the turbo. I don't think it's worth rebuilding it because it costs more than the turbo. So I bought a new turbo instead. This one, however, is a little bit more expensive, but I don't really mind. I get better mid-range, I'm very happy. So now that you guys know, leave a comment what you think will hit horsepower-wise compared to this one. They say on the website that the GT2871 is capable of around 350 horsepower, and I'm at 360 right now. Though I'm running E85, so I'm pushing it at 1.8 bar. I've been over 2 bar, 2.1, 2.2 bar almost, and there's almost no play in the turbine and the shaft play. So I'm very pleased with this still. If it wasn't for I want a new turbo, I would still keep running this. And that's why I kept going with max speeding rods, because I want to try. And as far as I know, this is a brand new series from them. I'm not I'm not affiliated or sponsored or anything. I'm just impressed with how well this worked. So when I saw like a month ago that they have now a G series with dual ball bearing, which is also one of the differences between these two. This has dual ball bearing, this is a journal bearing. So it should also help with spool and stability and all that stuff. So that's why I went with the max speeding rods. It's way cheaper, and in my experience, they still hold up pretty well. Let's remove the new turbo and open up the old one, because I want to see how it looks. Remove the compressor housing and all that stuff, and we'll see how it looks. So we got the 13 and we got the 10 millimeter. So we'll start by removing the clips here. Now I had one issue that Felix reminded me of, and that is that the wastegate got kind of weak. I had issues with boost, and that was due to the wastegate. I don't know if it's got worn or something, because I haven't had the issue since, but basically I had the preload correct when I mounted it, but now that I've been driving it, the preload disappeared, so it was staying open all the time. So we only boosted like, I don't know, half a bar, 0.8 bars of boost. But ever since we tightened it up again, I haven't had the issue, so that was kind of weird. But that's one of the issues that I had with the turbo. But I guess that's kind of, I don't know, not too big of an issue at least. Not to me. Preferably you'd want to have a proper wastegate if you want the proper boost control and everything. Then maybe not a regular stamped actuator. Then you'd go for a forged actuator or something like that, where you can change the spring. All right, got that removed. It's kind of stuck. Well, what do we do then? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure I should be able to remove this. What do we do, Felix? We get the bigger, throw it on the ground.
Usually works.
Yeah. Hit it with a hammer slightly. Do not do this at home, guys. There we go. Damn, that compressor housing is very big actually. Huh. So it was glued with some sealant, probably to keep it airtight, because this side obviously has pressure in it. This actually looks bigger than the new one. We'll have to open the new one as well then. There is very, very, very minimal play in and out. And obviously, as it is a journal bearing, we have some side play. And as I said before, I've been running 1.8 bar of boost. At one point we were over 2 bar, so it's seen some stuff. One other reason for me to, well, tear the car down, I haven't really showed you, but just to the left of me here, we have the whole engine and transmission out, and I've never had the engine and transmission out before. I've always built everything inside the car. I've changed the connecting rods and everything like that. I've built the manifold, well, not the manifold, but the downpipe and everything like that. Everything, including the DSG swap, is with the engine in the car. So this is the first time it's out, so now I can properly look it over and fix a few things that I'm not really happy with, because this year is the first year that I've been able to properly test everything, because the car is legal. I have not really driven on the road until now, and thus not putting any miles on it to see what works and what not works. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I'll show you guys what it looks like in a second when I get these bolts out. Like this. Maybe. All right, so I can see here it's been leaking oil here. Now, I did have an issue with the leaking fitting before, but this looks like the... What the hell? Do I have to hit this side as well? So, what I can see now is that there's a ton of oil here on the exhaust side. And I'm not sure if that is because there's an oil seal here. Maybe that is the reason. But I did have a leaking return line, but I don't think that's the reason for all the oil here. So maybe that's the reason for the smoke in the exhaust. It could actually be that. And it makes sense very much. So maybe it wasn't too bad that I upgraded. But yeah, now we see. There's not much actual play, and side play pretty much non-existent, at least for a journal bearing. But we have a new turbo, and we found the reason for the oil burning probably So yeah, I'm going to take apart the new turbo as well, because I want to take a look at the compressor housing on that one as well. So, all right, yeah, that looks way smaller. Holy crap. I don't know how that works actually. How is this turbo presumably able to push 500 horsepower and this is not? Well, I'm guessing it's a lot more effective. It's pretty cool because this is like CNC machine as well. And this is a cast. So, well, only we'll have to wait for the results to see. But yeah, it is actually quite a lot smaller. Pretty cool. And another perk of this is there's an O-ring seal instead of the, what do you call it? The sealant fluid thing, silicone, to keep that sealed. This is a lot more reliable and easier to take apart. So we'll put this back together and see if we can maybe test fit to the Golf. All right, so me and Felix had something to eat and now we're ready to film some more. So you guys saw the turbo that I'm using, the G25 550 from Max Speeding Runs. And now I will show you what's happened to the engine. All right, so here obviously the Golf. And here we have the engine with the gearbox and subframe and everything. So I took this apart, as I said, because I want to go over everything. And this goddamn thingy-majiggy. Yeah, because I want to go over everything. And one of the things that I have an issue with is this one. This is my new servo steering line that's going from the pump all the way back to the steering rack over there. And the old one that I had didn't fit. I bought a new one that supposedly was for the R32 with the DSG box, but that didn't fit quite right either. So, as you can see, I've bent this in place, so it's much more flush, but I didn't want to go only servo line. I wanted to have proper metal pipe. Apparently it's for cooling to help with that. So I will be able to mount it there and on the engine. So that's one thing that's new. Another thing is we'll go over the oil cooler that I have. We got the coolant lines and all that. I'll be able to clean everything up. We also have, I don't know if I have that here. No, maybe not. Anyways, we got this. This is the crankcase lines. I want to remake that as well. We got the valve there, and also we got the puck up on the intake. So I'm making a new one, an adapter that fits right up there. That goes up to the valve cover and then to the intake again. Or maybe we'll do a maybe a catch tank or something. So this makes it much more easy to go over everything. And as you guys can see here, shit. And with the engine out, it also means we got more place in the engine bay. So you guys know I had an issue with it starting to burn back there. We had a small part there that was separated from the main insulation and it started to burn. So I removed that and we're going to put some sticky things on there as well. So yeah, it makes work much more easy, and now that we have a lift, it's all possible. So with that, I think we're ready to put on the turbo on the manifold and put the manifold on the engine and see how it looks. And we have another package to open. Very nice. All right, so I told you guys that I had the manifold as well. Now I'll just remove this stuff here, because we don't need that anymore. Okay, so this is the manifold that I'm using. And it's what you would call a log manifold, I think. And yeah, very short runners. It's a cast. It works very well, very low space, but it's also not optimal for flow. But I think it looks pretty good for what it is. And I'm not for peak horsepower, I just want a good spool, so this is what I want, and it takes very low space. Now, I got it to work because we have a CNC machine at work, so I've milled this place, the face down, so it's completely flat. I also did that with the side that goes towards the head. Did that, I also ported it because these faces here are not matched to, let's say, the gasket. So both the T25 flange on the manifold and on the turbo is now completely matched to the gasket. So we have equal size there, which is very nice. I got some pictures of how it looks before I started porting it, and let's just say it was not good. I probably increased flow by like 10% or something. Another thing that I've noticed, now that I've disassembled everything, is that the ports on this manifold is not completely lined up with the head. So using this gasket, I didn't think of doing that before, but now I can see that the holes are not completely matched. So what I did is I matched them to the gasket basically. Manifold ported, T25 flange ported, as well as the wastegate port, which I talked about on the old turbo as well. So it should flow a little bit better. I hope I won't have any issues with boost creep. Either way, I'm going to run like 1.5 bars, I think. So it should not be an issue anyways. And we'll see if the turbo is clocked correctly or if we'll have to spin it around a little bit. There we go. I think we just need 2 of these here for now to make it flush. I'll just move you guys over to the engine and we'll see how it looks. All right, so now with you guys in place, let's see if we can put this on here. Temporarily, of course. Yeah, it's very interesting having the engine out for the first time, actually. As I said, I've never had the engine out, so it's very interesting here. What the hell? There we go. So now with this in place, we can start building the downpipe, which will go somewhere down here and back. The plan is to buy a TIG welder here, so we can weld some stainless and some aluminum. There we go. Something like that. Looks pretty good, I think. All right, so this looks pretty sick, if I may say so myself. As I said before, there's nothing better than new parts for the car. So yeah, it looks, well, pretty much the same as the old turbo, but I've never seen the engine and turbo out of the car, so this was kind of wow, holy shit. But yeah, we got another package to open now that we're here, so I might as well show you guys, because now that the turbo is done, or well, it's not done, but we've gone through everything here. We got also the old shitty turbo there, or well, not shit, I'm very impressed with that, but it's time for some more power, I think. So we'll open the last package, and Felix is here. All right, so now we got this big ass package from, I don't know if you can read, but it's from Speeding. It's a popular place in Sweden to shop performance parts. So we'll see what's inside. Hopefully you guys can see, because I noticed when I mounted the turbo that you might not have seen anything at all, because I'm stupid when it comes to camera placement. So this is what I was talking about. This is, I need to, there we go. Maybe you can see now? Yes. So this is like the heat aluminum foil thing that I will put on the firewall on the car. It takes a lot of heat, and it's much thinner than the one I have right now, which ended up touching the turbo when I got the turbo blanket. So pretty much when I'm on full boost and I have full torque, the engine moves backwards because it's flexing so much, and it hit the firewall. So this will probably eliminate the issue, and also I will try to get a hold of new engine mounts for that as well, which will hopefully eliminate. Now we are talking. We got some 3-inch exhaust pipe, 90 bend of course, which will be the smallest one that we need. We got, Jesus Christ, 3.5-inch, which is even bigger. Holy crap. We got the Garrett flange. Ooh, would be nice to see if that actually fits on the turbo. Because this is one of the things that didn't come with the turbo, which is kind of weird. Garrett has its own, or well, I guess Max Speedingwords, its own V-band flange. This is not a regular V-band. So hopefully this fits. I'm gonna take a look. Yep, it seems to fit. So yeah, it's not a regular 3.5-inch V-band, it's Garrett 3.5-inch V-band. So make sure you take a look at that when you buy that. Now I see here, that is actually 3-inch and not 3.5-inch. So I bought these 90 bends, 3.5-inch, short radius, but it's not that. It's just 3-inch. Interesting. It said 3.5-inch. So I guess the V-band flange is 3.5-inch. Ah, I see. We got 3.5-inch V-band, but the outlet is actually 3-inch. All right, good to know, I guess. Good we have 3-inch then as well. So we'll try to make this the best we can. So we got 3.5-inch, 3-inch, and I guess I'll have to order some new 3-inch short radius or something to fit the V-band. We also have some fittings because we need the V-band flange. No, not the V-band, the lambda, to measure the exhaust. And we got the return line, which hopefully also fits the turbo. Maybe I should just measure everything before I order, and it will fit much better. It seems to fit as well. So we got the return line flange, we got the lambda flange, we got the Garrett V-band 3-inch outlet flange. So we can start building the exhaust. Now all we need is a TIG welder. Maybe we'll order that this weekend. Okay guys, so I think that is pretty much it. Yeah, that's everything that's been going on basically in the garage. Not very much, but ordering stuff and figuring things out. But now I think we can start rebuilding the car again. Put everything together and make everything fit very nicely. So if you have any questions, leave them below. I would also like to know if you have any special questions, because I saw that we just hit 900 subscribers, which is kind of crazy actually. So what do you guys think about doing a Q&A or something at 1,000 subscribers? Wouldn't that be pretty cool? If you think so, tell me in the comments down below, and also leave a question that you have. It might be about the Golf, about the DSG swap that we've done. If you have a question about the Evo or the Volvo, leave a question about that. And yeah, just anything really. Leave a comment down below if you wonder anything. And I'll see you guys in the next video.